I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. I got a tape of Maria Bartiromo interviewing a woman, one of the person from Congress, our congressional representative, who went down to the border because we got this problem now with this problem with baby formula. The Abbott baby formula manufacturing company, it had to go out of business because allegedly 2 children died as a result of taking the formula. But the scientists have discovered that it really was because of the formula, but Abbott shut down anyway, and now the Federal Food and Drug Administration has given them the opportunity to go back. But the Biden administration for the immigrants, Mexicans and others, and who knows who coming across that border down there in Texas, they've got formula stocked up to the hilt, along with baby wipes and a whole lot of other stuff, while American citizens are struggling trying to get formula. But I'll let this broadcast go. Mr. Engineer, roll that clip.
Joining me right now is the Florida Congresswoman herself who exposed this at the border. Kat Cammack is here. She's a member of the Homeland Security and Agricultural Committees. Congresswoman, thanks very much for being here. I know Congress is set to take the issue up this week, but tell us what you saw and react to what you just heard from Buttigieg.
Well, good morning, Maria. And, yesterday I was on the border myself, and the facts on the ground are exactly how we have been stating them. Last week I received text messages and photos from Border Patrol agents showing a stockpile of baby formula, and there was complete outrage from the White House and CNN and other liberal outlets claiming that we were lying. So I decided to go down myself and film it. And lo and behold, not only was there stocked warehouses, but there were multiple stocked warehouses that have been not only filled with baby formula and diapers and wipes and clothing, but they have been doing this for months, and there's more en route. And this just points again to how out of touch this administration is, and they could stop this with a simple policy change. And to the Secretary of Transportation's remarks that they have been on top of this from day one, that is a lie. They canceled 43% of this manufacturer's production with no plan to backfill that market share that they make up. So how have they been on top of this? Because moms for months have been saying it was getting harder and harder to find formula. This is just another example of the broken administration that doesn't know how to govern.
So how did this happen, Congresswoman? I know that the FDA investigated one plant. Had they known that there were issues months ago, why wasn't more done to fix it? How did we get here?
That's the million-dollar question right now. See, back in fall of last year, there was a whistleblower who alerted the FDA to some bacteria issues within the Abbott facility in Lansing, Michigan. There was a thorough investigation, a voluntary recall by Abbott, and it was in March that the FDA themselves, they came out with a public statement saying that the bacteria found in the Lansing facility did not match the bacteria that tragically killed those 2 infants that when there was an autopsy performed. So there was no connection between the two. So there was a voluntary recall. The Abbott facility has complied and done everything that they have been asked of the FDA, but yet there's no word from the FDA on when this facility can get back up and manufacture. Keep in mind, they manufacture 43% of the market share. And in the meantime, there's been no easing of regulations. There has been no easing of the tariffs to import baby formula. It has been radio silence. But that's how this administration operates. They want us to flounder because they have no solutions. And they continually point the blame at everyone else but themselves.
It's interesting because last week Jen Psaki actually suggested that it was all Abbott's fault. Abbott had to come out tweeting about it, saying the White House is misrepresenting it. This is not Abbott's fault. We all know this. What you just laid out was exactly right, that we see that it, in fact, did not come from Abbott. But I want to get your take on what else is going on at the border. You were just there. A federal judge is expected to rule on Title 42 within days. 24 GOP states have already filed a lawsuit to try to block the administration from lifting Title 42. Congressman, what are you expecting? Do you think that Title 42 goes away on May 23rd, which was the date that the administration said it would overturn it?
You know, Maria, and you are so passionate and you've been so spot on in covering the border crisis from day one. When I was with the agents yesterday walking through these processing facilities, they talked in depth about the sheer number of people that they would be dealing with, up to 18,000 a day. Keep in mind, we lose operational control of the border at 3,000 a day. And what we're seeing currently is already untenable. If we lose Title 42, that is the last tool in the toolbox for these Border Patrol agents. These are the same people who can't find formula for their own kids in a Target down the street. I know because I went to that Target yesterday. But this is the thing. We will absolutely see an invasion at our southwest border. There has already been a lowering of vetting standards. People are being put through the processing process in a rapid manner in which they're not being properly vetted. The Democrats actually voted last week to accept arrest warrant paperwork as proof of ID for people to get into our country. There's ankle bracelets being cut off. This is going to absolutely have dire consequences for Americans, because what we are seeing are people on the international terrorist watch list coming across the border, narcotics pouring across the border. We will need to have some very tough policies on the books, but this administration is weak.
You know, this is a very important story and just great reporting. And I'm not sure what's going to happen with Title 42. It probably should not be lifted. There needs to be these countries where all this violence and gangs and people are fleeing poverty. You know, I went down to Trinidad several years ago. Some doctor and nurse at one of the hospitals said, go down to Trinidad and preach. So I went and held a revival down in Trinidad. I was going back 20, 25 years ago now. And when I was holding that revival there in Trinidad, I told the people in Trinidad, stop leaving Trinidad and going to Europe and coming to America. Build up your own nation. Build up your own nation. And that's what I preached the first night. The second night, nobody came back to them. They came back to the worship there because everybody want to get out of Trinidad and come to America. And the people that want to get out of these poor nations, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Mexico, and other places, need to find a way to stop the gangs, the violence, and build their own nations to a point where they would want to live there rather than coming here. That's one thing. But the other thing is this, and the reason why this story is important, and I don't have very much time here now, but I want to say to you this. We got inflation now more than 10%. Gas prices are higher than $6 a gallon. Did you ever believe you're paying $6 a gallon or more for a gallon of gasoline? And it's going to go higher. Inflation and crooked business people and lying politicians, like this report exposed, is just going to grab and bring pain to America like you've never seen before. But let me share a scenario. So we don't have baby formula now. Some states are completely out. And now they're telling you to drink cow milk, good for you, the baby cow milk or goat milk or whatever it is. But they got a lot of it down there stored down at the border for the immigrants coming across the border, the baby formula. All right. But let me say something to you. Suppose there's a scenario, and the reason why Abbott, the baby formula manufacturing plant, closed down is because they thought that 2 children died as a result of the formula. And the test has been done by the Federal Drug Administration, as you just heard, and discovered that the death of those children was not linked to the Abbott baby formula plant. So it's opening back up. But it's going to take it about 6 weeks to get back up on market and get the baby formula back on the shelves again. Suppose there's a problem. Remember the Tylenol scare where somebody was opening up Tylenol and putting poison in the Tylenol bottles? Suppose there's a scare like that over the summer, or at one of the meat processing plants, or or someplace else that where food consumption, where people will stop buying it because one of the major manufacturers has been accused or thought to have done something wrong in the processing. Then the price of food goes up, and everybody's looking for food that they can get that they know will not kill them, or any kind of a crisis can take place and then escalate. So if you're looking at this crisis now of the baby food formula, and little babies mothers don't breastfeed no more. They don't do that no more. They rely on this formula. But the same thing can happen in the mainstream food supply. We're facing some very difficult times. And there's a pain coming to America, my brothers and my sisters. There's a pain coming. And you need to learn how to protect yourself. I'm going to try to do the best I can for the people here. And listen to me. To advise you, I'm going to pray and then seek out information, go behind the scenes to find out what's happening so we can all live and make it through this oncoming economic, if you will, tsunami that's going to hit pretty soon. But I tell you, if you're driving a car now and you got to fill that bad boy, it can cost you $120 to fill up your automobile. $120 to buy gasoline. Electricity going through. We got typically warming up a bit here in the Big Apple, so we turn on the air conditioner, but we'll keep that bad, try to run it too high. Fuel oil prices. I was talking to the person that supplies our fuel oil. He said, I pity you. He said, but ain't nothing I can do. They make us pay the price. We got to pass it on to you. All right, so I want to be able to tell you that I'm going to be on the case every day, because we got economic pain, we got food shortages coming. This is for real. This is for real. And I'm going to try to help you get through it best we possibly can. I know Jesus will help you get through it. Now, there's one thing I want to, the Lord's called me to preach the Hamites, preach righteousness. And I want to try to tear all that nasty spirit of racism out of Hamite people. And I don't hate my brother. I don't. He thinks I do because I tell him the truth. It's them liars that lie to you, that fleece you, that bamboozle you, and then step on you to get on television, and step on you to get elected to a political. They step on you. I tell you the truth. I tell you that you never built anything, and I tell you that black folk want to be white, even though they always talking about how bad white folk are.
I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. I shall not be moved. Burden's heavy, I shall not be moved. When my burden's heavy, I shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. I shall not be moved. When I need your guidance, I shall turn to you. Lord, when I need your guidance, I shall turn to you, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. Oh, I shall not be moved. your power, I shall turn to you. Lord, when I need your power, I shall turn to you. Just like a tree that's planted by the waters, I shall not be moved. Lord, when I need your healing, I shall turn to you. Lord, when I need your healing, I shall turn to you. Just like a tree that's planted by the waters, oh, I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. Lord, I shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water,